Today in this session, we are going to discuss about the core Java interview questions part 2. So we will start from the question 1. Difference between heap and stack memory in Java. What is the difference between heap and stack memory in Java? So stack memory is the area of the memory that was assigned to every individual thread. Or you can say that the purpose of this memory is that to store the variables, references, objects, and the partial results. Okay. So now why we call it stack memory, because the allocation happens in the function called stack, and the size of the memory to be allocated is known to the compiler. And whenever a function is called, its variable get memory allocated on the stack, and whenever function calls is over, the memory for the variables is deallocated. Okay, so this is stack memory. Second is that what is heap memory? It is also called a heap because it is a pile of memory spaces, you can say, for the programmers to allocate and delocate the, you can say, their objects here. Okay, and whenever you want to create the object, it is always created in the heap space, and their references are always stored in the stack memory. So it is the most required during the runtime of the program. Second question is that what is the use of final keyword in variables, methods, and class? Now, first of all, in terms of final variable, when a variable is declared as final in Java, the value can't be modified once it has been assigned. It means once you have assigned a value to a variable and you have declared that variable as a final, then you cannot change it. If any value that has not been assigned to a variable and it is, you can say, final, then it can be assigned only by the constructor of the class. Second is final method. A method, if a method is declared as a final, that then it cannot be overridden by its child classes. A constructor cannot be marked as a final. Why constructor cannot be marked as final? Just think about that. Whenever a class is inherited, the constructors are not inherited. Hence, making it final does not make sense. Java throws compilation error saying modifier final not allowed here. Now, the final class. If you talk about the final class, no classes can be inherited from the class declared as a final. It means you cannot inherit a final class, but that final class can extend other classes for its uses. Now, third question. Is it possible that the finally block will not be executed? Yes, yes, it is possible that the finally block will not be executed in the below two cases. First case is that if we use the system.exit in the try or catch statement, because whenever you use system.exit, your programs terminate at that same line, right? And second is that if there are fatal errors like stack overflow, memory access error, etc., then also it is possible that finally block will not be executed. Fourth question, when can you use super keyword? So we can use the super keyword in three cases. First is that accessing data members of the parent class when the member name of the class and its child subclasses are same. This is one advantage. Second, to call the default and parameterized constructor of the parent class inside the child class. Third, accessing the parent class methods when the child class have overridden them. Now, fifth question is that can the static method be overloaded? Yes, there can be two or more static methods in a class with the same name but differing input parameter. And that's why we can say that, yes, we can overload the static method. Sixth question, why is the main method static in Java? It means why main method is defined as a static in Java. So here you can say the main method is always static because static members are those methods that belongs to the class, not an individual object. JVM, and the purpose of JVM is that JVM calls the main method based on the class name itself, not by creating the object. So there must be only one main method in the Java program, the execution start from the main method. So for this reason, the main method is static. Seventh question, can the static method be overridden? No. Declaration of the static method having the same signature can be done in the subclasses, but runtime polymorphism cannot take place in such cases because overriding or dynamic polymorphism occurs during the runtime, but the static methods are loaded and looked up at the compile time statically. And you know that you can say the concept of polymorphism that is related to the, you can say, objects, not the static thing. Hence, these methods cannot be overridden. Eighth question, what is the main objective of the garbage collection? The main objective of this process is to free up the memory space occupied by the unnecessary and unreachable objects during the Java program execution by deleting the unreachable objects. Actually, what is about that? Whenever you are writing a program, it creates the objects in the memory, and whenever you can say that Java feels that, or JVM feels that there is some unnecessary memories already there in the, you can say unnecessary objects are there in the memory, then in that case it try to delete those objects, and for that purpose you can say garbage collection takes place. What it ensures? It ensures that the memory resource is used efficiently, but it provides no guarantee that there would be sufficient memory for the program execution. Ninth, what is a comparator in Java? Consider the example where we have an array list of the employees, not a normal array list. We have an array list of employees being the custom object, like employee like ID, name, class. This is our, you can say, property of a object. Now, if we want to sort this list of employees based on the name of employees, then that is not possible to sort using the collection.sort method, because that is applied on the, you can say, normal data type like integer, you can say string, something like that. But here we want to sort the custom employee object and on the basis of a particular property. So in that case, we need to provide something to the sort function depending on what values we have to perform sorting, and in that cases a comparator is used. Comparator is the interface in Java that contains the compare method, and by overloading the compare, you can say, method, we can define that on what basis we need to compare the values here. Now, 10. What is the difference between the throw and throws keyword in Java? The throw keyword is used to manually throw the exception to the calling method, and the throws keyword is used in the function definition to inform the calling method that this method throws the exception. So if you are calling, then you have to handle the exception. Java works as a pass by value or pass by reference. So actually Java always work as a pass by value. There is nothing called a pass by reference in Java. 12th question. What is a relationship in Java? So is a relationship another name of inheritance? You can say that when we inherit the base class from the derived class, then it forms a relationship between the classes. So that relationship is termed as is a relationship. Example, consider a class vehicle, now another class car, that is inherited from the vehicle class. So we can say that the car is also a vehicle. 13. Which among string or string buffer should be preferred when there are lots of updates required to be done in the data? We know that string buffer is mutable and dynamic in nature, whereas string is immutable. Every aberration modification of the string creates a new string object. Therefore, you can say by overloading the thereby overloading the string pool with unnecessary objects. Hence, in the case of a lots of update, there is always preferred to use string buffer. As I told you, it is mutable. It will reduce the overhead of the creation of multiple string object in the string. 14. How to not allow serialization of attributes of a class in Java? In order to achieve this, if you want to, you can say, stop the serialization of a particular attribute, then the attributes can be declared along with the users of transient keyword. It means in the following example, roll number property or will be not be, you can say, serialized because we have used the transient keyword. Is it mandatory for a catch block to be followed by try? No, it is not mandatory for a catch block to be present. You can say followed by a try. Catch block to be after a try block. A try block should be followed either by a catch block or by a final block. So you can use anyone. Can you call a constructor of a class inside the another constructor? Yes, the concept can be termed as a constructor chaining and can be achieved by using the this function. This function is actually the constructor. Define system.out.println. System.out.println is used to print the message on the console, and it has three things like system. What is system? System is a class present in java.lang package. Out is the static variable of a type print stream class present in the system class, and the last println, this is the method present in the print stream class. So if we justify the statement, then we can say that if you want to print anything on the console, then we need to use it. What do you understand by the markup interface? Markup interface, also known as a tagging interface, are those interfaces that have no methods and constant defined into them. They are there for helping the compiler and JVM to get run time later information regarding the object. And they actually, you can say, present the specific behavior. Like you can say we have a serialization interface, that is the markup interface. Okay. And the purpose comparable, you can say clonable interface. So these interfaces are presenting that JVM is going to treat in a specific manner for a specific purpose. Will the finally block be executed if the code system is written at the end of the try block? No. The control of the program post system exit is immediately gone and the program get terminated, which is why the finally block never get executed. And how is the new operator different from the new instance operator in Java? Both new and new instance operators are used to creating object. The difference is that when we already know the class name for which we want to create the object, then we use a new operator for that. But suppose we don't know the name of the class for which we need to create the object, or we get the class name in the string format from the command line argument or the database or the file, then in that case we can use the new instance operator, new instance function to create the, you can say, object. So I hope you understand the, you can say, most interview tricky and you can say interview questions and answer here. If still you have a doubt, you can put your doubt in the comment of this video, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe the channel. Thank you.